everyone to this special year-end evening edition of everyone's favorite pitch practice, the
The
show.
show.
Hey, welcome everybody to our special end of year episode of uh, pitch practice, the show. How are you doing today, Brandon? How are
I
you?
am I'm hanging in there by a thread. I don't know if I'm coming down with something or what, or I'm just staying up too late, getting things done for the end of the year and figuring out plans for next year. But I am beat. I'm beat up. I can tell you that.
Yeah. A lot of competing demands this time of year, especially with a lot of personal obligations and, you know, just the hectic and busyness of around this time of year. We're coming on this evening. I think we are competing with, let's see, I think there's a show on called Christmas Around the USA for all
Yeah.
of those out there watching from the USA, and we're also competing with a very Berry Christmas with Barry Manilow. But
That's some stiff competition. I don't know if we can handle taking the eyeballs away from those two phenomenal shows.
how are we supposed to compete? Well, I'll tell you how we're going to compete, and you'll want to hear this. You out there, for all of our loyal watchers, we're coming to you this evening, and there's one thing that we can do that you can't get from all those other shows, and that is we can give out a prize pack. You'll want to stick around with us for this episode today. We got a prize pack that we're going to be giving away to one lucky watcher out there, Brandon.
Okay.
It's
Sounds
something,
good.
yeah, it's something that it's a special thank you for the loyal watchers out there who have watched us over this past year as we're going into the new year 2024. And we want to give a shout out to all those people watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, even on Instagram, on the gram. And we're going to give out some special, we're going to give out a special gift here. Let me pull it out. And it's something that we want to show our thank you. Look at that right there. Special straight from the North Pole. I think
That looks
he's been busy. You want to see
looks
what's in
pretty
it?
good. What's in it?
All right, let's open it up. Woo-hoo. Okay, the box is not included, but shipping is included. Uh, but of course. So when you think about what we're here doing, the show is called Pitch Practice, right? And it was started a few years ago with Brandon and Laura as a way for us to meet together on a weekly basis and help just encourage each other, support each other, and be able to practice with each other. And I want to say that I appreciate you and how you keep me accountable, Brandon.
I know. Let's be truthful though and tell people why we're streaming this tonight at 8:30 instead of 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so you want to be truthful when it's me, right?
We can be truthful when it's me too when we miss. I don't have any problem with that at all.
No, and I'm that's what I'm saying though, because you're not going to let me just miss. You're not gonna just
No,
let me miss. And
no.
I think uh,
And we've missed, but we do our best to try to at least make it up later in the week. It happens. We're humans and things kind of get in the way and sometimes it's sleep, sometimes it's health, sometimes it's um, circumstances outside of our control. But we still try to at least meet. If we don't meet on here live, we at least meet and chat offline, which is still good.
yes. So this morning I didn't make it, but it was because I was up late last night working on I just been really getting into this one funnel away challenge and just realizing that I'm really putting my customer center together. I'm really getting these courses transferred over. So, and I was up late last night.
I can attest to that. It's a lot of work. I've been up late for the past 3 weeks, usually till 11, 12 o'clock. And then even then, you're doing all this work, but you have no mental downtime. And so you just end up staying up even later, scrolling or watching a movie or something like that to kind of wind down and and numb the brain to sleep, so to speak. And I can say probably for the past week, I'm in bed at 2 and up at 6, and maybe even 7 if I'm lucky. And
It's 7 if you're lucky. Wow.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Rough.
Hey,
I'm beat.
What's up, Facebook user? Make sure to stick around. I don't see your name, so we're not sure who you are, but stick around because we have a giveaway tonight. That's the big thing. It's a special end of year celebration. This is going to be our last episode for 2023, and we want to thank you for being a loyal watcher of the show. And I was just about to actually reveal what's in our prize pack. Okay. And then I'm going to reveal what's in our prize pack. And then I'm going to tell you how you can win. And I'll tell you, Brandon doesn't even know the answer to the question.
I know that's terrible. I know the answers, Mark. I didn't at first until we went through them, but I knew one or two.
All right. So I'm gonna show the prize pack first, and I'm gonna show what you can win absolutely free, shipped directly to your home. If you live overseas, okay, it might be a little bit slower, but we'll get it over there to you. But here's what we got here. In this prize pack right here, just to show. So watch it. Hey, great to see you out there. Thanks for commenting. What's up, y'all? Hey, this book right here, it's a funnel hacking live book. Have you read this one, Brandon?
I have not read it yet. I think I got a couple copies of myself here, so we got more than one to give away. We can do at least 2 prize packs here. Yep.
10 failures to sit $10 million doing the new dramatic demonstration formula. This guy is an expert with dramatic presentations.
Yeah, so, he did a webinar in front of the Grand Canyon. He's that on point. It's crazy.
Yeah, how incredible was that? Because I don't think there was even any internet connection out there. That was
well, yeah. I mean, he brought his own satellite or cell booster or whatever he had out there, and did a webinar in front of the freaking Grand Canyon. It's huge.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Oh, look who it is. Ha ha. What's up, Marcus? What's up, Mr. Marcus? It's Mr. Hair 411. What's going on, brother? Great to see you. Thanks for hopping in on our live tonight. Hey, it's open for you, so I'm gonna finish going through this pack right here. Okay. All right. So we got Just Giver by Tim Shields. He's a 2 Comma Club Award winner. Then let's go with this one right here, Brandon.
We got the Challenge Secrets book, Pedro Dow. Great book, great program. In fact, there's still the challenge program that is being promoted by ClickFunnels, 5-day challenge there. So definitely get into that if you ever see the ad come around, or if you don't see the ad and you want access to it, just hit one of us up. We'll get you the link to take part of it.
Yes. I think challenges have been a major lead generation strategy over the past couple years. What do you think about challenges going into the next year, Brandon?
I don't see them going away. It might ebb and flow depending on the season. But you got the One Funnel Away challenge. You got that challenge. There's
Challenge Secrets Masterclass. Yep.
the 5-day lead challenge. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Right. Challenges are still a great way to do as Russell talks about it in the linchpin model. He talks about it basically a perfect webinar over 3 to
Yeah.
5 days, right?
That's exactly it.
Yeah, where your first day you're overcoming an objection, you overcome another objection, and then at the end. So yeah, and this one is the linchpin edition. You'll want to get your hands on this right here. You'll want to get your hands on that. And whoa, guess what I have here next, Brandon? You are gonna love this one. Let me tell you this one. Okay, I'm gonna save that one for last, but this one. Remember,
Create, don't capture. Yeah, that's a good book. How to boost your Instagram and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. The ultimate guide to being a successful content creator and making an impact with your message. How good is this book right here? I've perused the book and you know what I did too? Excuse me. I went and I got his bonuses. Did you get his bonuses? The bonuses.
I may have. If not, I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, the bonuses from inside the book. So you may not know about the bonuses unless you actually get the book, and there's a website that you can visit.
He has a deal in Notion. There's a whole either script prompts or some type of prompts that's tied to a Notion template. Yeah, I think that's it. Something like that.
Yes. These are some of the one of the great things that I found from him. I thought he taught a little bit about content pillars. And it reminds me of when we went through Traffic Secrets and Russell talks about the JK5. And it's interesting to see how those strategies are still effective today. Yeah, I mean, if you're out there, if you're any type of you're producing any type of content, whether that might be publishing blogs, posting on social media, you might be doing ads, or how you're getting your message out in front of people. This is an essential book to help you get seen online. And then finally, we have one final thing. I've got so much ClickFunnels swag. I was looking through. I've got. Remember those? We didn't get the backpack this year, but remember we got the little
tote.
Yeah, the little tote. I've got hand sanitizer. I've got money clips, man. But this one here, you guys are going to get a copy of 10X is Easier Than 2X. Very great book. And speaking of this book, let's just do a post check. How are you liking this book so far, Brandon?
I like it. I think when we first started talking about it, I think we brought up the other 10X book, the 10X Rule by Cardone. And before we started reading it, I was just, before we started discussing it on pitch practice here, I was saying a lot of the principles can be found in the 10X Rule that are in 10X is Easier Than 2X, and especially in chapter 3 here that we read this week, talking about the things that you want, separating what wants and needs are, and having that the mindset of abundance mindset or scarcity mindset. And your wants are usually tied to an abundance mindset. Your needs are tied to a scarcity mindset, and depending on how you approach it, depends on the mindset that you have at the time. And you want to have more wants than needs to be able to be in that abundant mindset as much as possible. So it's a pretty good chapter to kind of dive into.
Yeah, yeah. He's so far as we've gotten in the book, he's talked about the strategy, and I think the next chapter he's going to get into applying the strategies, and that's what I'm really interested in. Um, I like when he said this time, and this time he was just like, "You should want things and basically don't care what everybody else says." And
Yeah, yeah, and that kind of was a little bit shocking coming out of I don't know, hearing him read it,
uh-huh.
because that sounds more like a Cardonism than a Ben
Then
Hardy Ben Hardyism, just based on his mannerisms and things like that.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. You have to be a little bit of an asshole, excuse my language there, in life
yeah,
for
yeah.
people to give you the respect that you want, and let people know that you're not a pushover, that you're going to go for your dreams and goals and eventually get them.
Yeah, yeah.
The kind of tying into it, I was listening to a podcast for Hermosi about giving up friends,
Uh-huh.
and this kind of ties into that as well. As you continue along your journey, you're going to probably lose friends because they're not going to see you in the same light of where you're at now to where you eventually end up. They're still going to look back at you and see you kind of like where you started.
Mm.
And that kind of came up as I was listening to this chapter. And again, is going to get what you want instead of what you need. Sure, we need friendships, but do we want the friends that we currently have in place with us right now if they're not on the same page as us and where we're looking to go? So I don't know, just little
Yeah.
mind nuggets there to chew on as I was driving in to and from work and listening to the book. So
Yes, yes. So recap. We're having a prize giveaway for our end of year pitch practice, the show episode, and that prize pack includes a copy of 10x is easier than 2x by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy, a copy of Create, Don't Capture. This is how to become a successful content creator by Eric Thane, a copy of Challenge Secrets by the challenge guy, Pedro Adao. And this one is the linchpin edition, and a copy of Just Giver. And this is this is the key to doing your dramatic presentations. Now, you may be wondering, how can you be entered to win this prize pack? So here's what we have. We want you to comment down below the answer to this question that we have carefully selected for this challenge. And you ready for this question?
ready.
Name 2 books that we've read on pitch practice this year. 2
And
books.
10x equals is easier. 2x doesn't count because we're doing it right now. That one doesn't count.
So you can go back and watch one of our previous episodes from 2023, and you can find out the books that we have read, and then you'll comment below, and we'll leave this open for what do you say? We'll give
till Friday at noon.
Okay, we'll give people an opportunity to watch this on the replay, and I'll pull this up again at the end so you know the answer down below, whether you are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or on LinkedIn. Let's go. Just want to, and then as always, we always want to just give a special thanks to all those out there watching. And yeah, that's it. That's what I got. let's get into a little bit of what we practiced this week. All right. And you know what? I had to tell you know what? I had some hate online this week. It's crazy hate.
Yeah,
Crazy.
what about?
It's funny. I commented on one of Russell Brunson's posts, and you know how Russell Brunson. I've seen him asking a lot of questions recently, and he asks if you had to start over all over today, what would you do?
Hmm.
And let me tell you what I wrote, Brandon. I said, give me an internet connection. No, give me a laptop, an internet connection, and ClickFunnels, and that's all I need. It was basically that. Maybe it was a fourth thing. Oh my gosh. Can you understand I got hate for that, Brandon?
What'd they say?
Oh my gosh. One said, you're not gonna get too far without electricity. An- an- Another one said, "You can't be serious, can you?" One person said to me, "You're such a stupid idiot. I don't see how you would even survive. Why? Why?" I was like, and then check this out, Brandon. So I turned off the alerts and I said, you know what? I'm leaving. I'll leave you all to argue amongst yourselves.
That's about all you can do. The internet is a fascinating place. I'm living. I would say I'm living vicariously through this young lady, but I'm helping her out, building out her challenge, which launches on the first 60 new, and
Mhm.
she's getting uh, a lot of flack and a lot of hate. Um, and it's from these women, and I don't get women. Nothing against women, love women, whatever. But
Mhm.
I don't understand them in the sense that you see them girl power, girl power, girl power, but let a girl get some power and watch the claws come out and try to tear them down.
Oh, are you getting in the middle of that?
No, I am not getting in the middle of it. But I just watch from the outside, just to kind of monitor, how things are going and progressing, and kind of giving suggestions on the back end to, either change up the content or just, block them, or whatever, because this is a no negativity zone. And I told her that I was like, you have to have a zero tolerance policy for negativity, or it's
Mhm.
going to drag everybody down with them. Because the sayings, one bad apple ruins the whole bunch, and it
Mhm.
does. And um, don't be in the pot of crabs, um, because as you try to climb out, the other crabs will start pulling you back in. And so, yeah, and it's just the little things there, and it just amazes me, and especially when she told me that it was a person that was kind of encouraging her in the beginning, only to come back and spew a little hate, and when she started to actually try to monetize what she's doing. Um,
Oh, oh
yeah,
yeah.
and that's the thing. I mean, she started off strong with the whole Hermosi deal, where I got nothing for you right now,
Uh-huh.
but it blew up quickly. She's like, oh well, I better turn this into something, or I won't be able to sustain it. So
Wow,
you
wow.
know,
Yeah. Oh man, you know what? I would have to say that because I was working with someone probably about a year ago that sort of maybe it might be similar, but they had amassed this audience and it was just growing, but they hadn't sold anything. And but the moment they tried to sell something, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it was so much pushback. And
hmm
and that's why I think that if you're going to try and build an audience to sell to them, you got to start. I think you've
yeah,
got to be at least selling something early on, because if you get to that point, they're not expecting to pay.
Right,
And
right.
when you come out with an offer, whoa, my goodness, they were like, oh, you're just like everybody else. You just
Yep. 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 That was on the latest Magnetic Marketing podcast as well. Talking about the seven headlines that improve open rates and things like that. And towards the end of the last 5 minutes, they talked about you're giving all this value and content up front for free, and then you go to try to sell them something. You are going to do damage. Like, damage will be done. You're going to lose people, but the people that are loyal and understand and don't have that scarcity mindset will get it and understand that nothing in life is free. You're either spending your time or you're spending your money on it. And they'll either say, great, it's for them, they'll buy it, or they'll shrug it off and still mooch off the free stuff, or they'll get completely turned off by you and walk away.
Yeah.
Great
Segue into one of the first points in the chapter that we read this week. And what is that? Being increasingly honest with yourself and other people about what you want most for yourself and your life. Stated up front, and be honest with yourself. I'll tell you a story from my sister-in-law, right? So I've talked about my sister-in-law getting into this food truck business, and she's doing it now, and I'm super proud that she's getting a lot of locations. She's selling out. I gave her a little tip, because she has, so I don't want anybody to steal this idea though, right?
Well, you can't give it out then if you don't want anybody to take it.
Yeah, I know. But she has this, but she goes out there and she's like, so she wants to, she's like, she doesn't want to raise her prices. Although if you're not making a profit out there, you have to be honest with yourself. You can't give it away. I don't care how much you care about other people. If you don't want to make money, then do a charity. Make it a charity or donations. But if you're not honest with yourself that you need to make money, then it could end up being a situation where you're going to be bitter about people asking you for things when you don't, it's going to be like, what? Take this. I'm not making money off of this anyway.
Yeah, but let's change that vocabulary a little bit. You need to be honest with yourself that you want to make money, not that you need to make money. So that little word switch right there will completely change your outlook for 2024.
Yes. And let's get into the second point about this chapter. Well, this part is, I took this part because he did talk about establishing your unique abilities. I think he talked about unique abilities, and then he talked about mastery. In the beginning was when he talked about freedom from, freedom to, and making sure what you want. This part here is specifically from for you to reach your highest level of mastery and personal calling. And you do so by taking your unique ability seriously and fully developing and expressing it. And these are his examples of how to develop your unique ability. So he's saying that you can expand your vision and thinking about what you can be, do, and have. Continue to hone that which excites you, energizes you, and that you see potential in. These are those steps. And the next portion is clarifying your ideal future self and what they would be doing. And this one really, it really piqued my attention. You know what? This book really causes you to think.
It does. He's a little bit more cerebral than Cardone beating you over the head with everything. Um, but the way that things are mapped out are a little bit easier to digest. I mean, these chapters aren't very long, and being that I'm listening to it, the after chapter interviews with who's the second guy? I just know Ben.
Dan Sullivan.
Um,
Dan
yeah,
Sullivan.
with Dr. Ben or Dan. Yeah, sorry, with Dan. Sorry, it's late. Are really good. In the post interview for, I think it was this book or for this chapter, they were talking about how Dan always writes these little mini books, right? But he never wrote
A full book.
full book, and he wanted to. It was on
Yeah.
his list to do it, but he didn't know really how to do it and go about it because he was just so used to writing all these little mini books.
Yep.
And then they started talking about the who not how part of it.
Again,
And
right?
yeah, and kind of going back to that book because I think that was what the first in this trilogy here.
Yep.
And so when you have these once and you're thinking exponentially on how to get them, again, remember it's figuring out who can help you get them. And there may be somebody that is on the up and coming charts in whatever field that you need that just needs that extra little coattail to grab onto to pull themselves up, and that just makes two people better. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think the same part of that interview that stuck out to you stuck out to me too, because they were having that discussion, right? And then come to find out that Ben Hardy is Dan Sullivan's 80%.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Ben Hardy is Dan Sullivan's 80%. Dan Sullivan said that, you know what, I always wanted to write a bigger book, but I didn't think about how to do it. I said, who could do it for me? And then and then guess who wrote the book?
Yep, Ben did.
Yeah.
So just find your 80. Handle your 20 and find your 80, and you'll
that's
get.
Wrong. No, that's wrong. Here's what you do. You clarify the 20 and then you let go of the 80.
There you go.
Well, you could say, well, you do say find it though. I guess when you find it, then you can let go of it.
Yep. Write down and figure out the 80% of the business that you don't want to do and give it to somebody else that's better than you at doing it.
Yes. You want to write a book, Brandon? You write a book?
No, I need to find people to call businesses for me because I hate calling businesses. That's the part that I don't like. That's my 80 right now.
Yeah. You know what? I will say one thing though, and I don't know, maybe it's just my experience, but he makes it easy. He makes it seem as though it's easy to find your 80%.
It can be tough. A lot of business owners that I've spoken to, they just don't want to give up the control. They want to have their hands in everything, and at the end of the day, they end up doing nothing but spinning their wheels and being stuck in the same place. It's kind of like that story, the tortoise and the hare, or no, the grasshopper and the ant, right? The ant does the right thing, and stores the food away and gets other people to help store the food away and does the thing, and the grasshopper just lives in the moment and is feasting on the high life and doesn't do any of the foundational stuff to get them through the hard times. And when the hard times hit, and you're scrambling trying to figure out where your next deal is coming from. But if you run your business like an ant and set the solid foundation and continue to build up your assets, then when the hard times come, you'll be set. In fact, that's that's this month's newsletter for Dan Kennedy and Magnetic Marketing that I can't wait to dive into. That was just on the front cover. So, but I came up with that all by myself. It just happens to it just happens to coalesce and segue into, the Magnetic Marketing physical newsletter that I get every month that everybody should be getting.
That's great stuff right there. That is great stuff. That's what a great chapter this is. So as we wrap up this week's episode, we will not be here until 2024. I want to wish everyone a very safe and warm, gracious, and happy, however you celebrate during this time of year. Have a great season. I'm going to let you get it, but one thing before
we got Hanukkah. We go, Hanukkah this week starts.
Oh, no. Okay, go ahead.
There we go. Yeah, we got Hanukkah, starting up this weekend, I believe, if it hasn't already started. Christmas next week. Kwanzaa starting. Got Boxing Day coming in. New Year's. A lot of holidays. Wishing you all the very best through all of them. And, blessings and prayers, everybody that everybody stays safe. And definitely prayers to everybody down in Tennessee that went through the tornadoes the other week. So that was a crazy winter storm to have that happen this late in the year.
Yeah, and I would say don't wait until the new year to grab hold of those dreams and start pushing towards those goals. I think that don't wait until the first of the year. You right where you stand is a great place to start. If you've got those dreams and you want to make this next year a 10x year, if you want to make this year a 10x year, remember, we've got this prize pack for you. You can get a copy of this book right here. Name 2 books that we've read on Pitch Practice this year, and we'll be having a drawing of all those who have named 2 books, and we'll be having this shipped out to you. That's really what I want to say. I think we go from year to year, and some people consider January 1st to December 31st like this, this timeline of how we're going to measure our growth over that period. 10x says you're constantly growing. It's no starting and ending period. You're just moving forward, staying consistent. And thanks for keeping me accountable too, Brandon.
There you go. Thank you as well, because you guys have gotten on me as well if I'm showing up and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, so let's all say a prayer for Laura. I know last week she was sick. Didn't hear from her for this week, but we're going to get her back on here. She needs to get back on here. We miss her energy. So if you see her on LinkedIn, look her up, Laura Morales, Rhino Franchising. Everybody go connect with her there and send her a message and say, get back on this show.
Yes, poke her.
Yeah. All right, guys, take care. Have a Merry Christmas.
All right, take